are here today when there's like active researchers and scientists at Base A. What do you call a water boat? There are talks that the channel that we're going through is known to have a lot of orcas or killer whales. My name is Catherine and welcome to my channel. I just woke up like a couple minutes ago, but I wanted to get this video started because it is day 9 of my 2-week trip here in Antarctica with Orca Expeditions. And it's been really good so far, really fun. I just opened the window and looked outside and it's beautiful. And yeah, so today is March 10, but day 9 of our 2-week trip here. And for today's plan, we are going to be doing a Zodiac cruise after breakfast, having lunch, doing another Zodiac cruise, a recap and briefing of the day and what we saw, what we're going to do the following day, blah blah blah, and then dinner, and then have a bar talk. So if you've been watching these videos, you've been noticing definitely a pattern of how these trips go, which it's nice to kind of get in the routine of things, but still we see different things every single day. Every Zodiac cruise, which is those little boats that we go on and go away from the actual cruise ship and explore more inland, every single one is different. There's always an online schedule on my phone and I like to talk about where we're going. So today we're at Port Lockroy, and Port Lockroy is comprised of Goydir Island and Gojla Point, both of which are home to numerous nesting Gen 2 penguins. There is an extraordinary museum inside the Old British Antarctic Survey BAS hut on Goydir Island. So that's where we're going in the morning, and then later on we're going to Flanders Bay, which is a large glaciated bay lying between Cape Renard and Cape Williams along the west coast of the Palmer Peninsula. It was explored in 1898 by the Belgian Antarctic expedition under Adrien de Gerlache. It was named for the historical area Flanders, which is now part of France, Belgium, and the Netherlands. So again, if you've been watching these videos, you know a lot of these places are named after like British people or other people from Europe that were exploring here back in like the 1800s or early 1900s. They were also talking about in the bar talk, which happens after dinner at night yesterday, there's, you know, the only things you really see in Antarctica that's like human built is like research stations or like these little huts, and I guess there's one on the first little, you know, place we're going or checking out. And they were telling us yesterday about how, I'm trying to remember what year it was, but there's a dog, and it was a story about like when dogs used to be allowed to be in Antarctica, and the dog's name was Steve. There was this group of men who were coming down to Antarctica to explore and were living here for a couple of months, and they were like, you know, really living here. They were killing like leopard seals and all that, and just really living off the land. And they were breeding dogs here to have as sled dogs, and they were, you know, the types of dogs that do well in the cold and stuff like that. And then they realized they had to leave immediately or they'd be like stuck during the winter and, you know, high chance of dying. So they just dropped everything and left, and they were trying to rally up all the dogs, and Steve would not follow. He did not want to get on the ship, and they tried really hard, but they're like, if we don't leave, we're all gonna be stranded and like maybe die, probably die. So they left Steve the dog, and his main owner was really upset, and they came back 3 months later and they saw Steve. He had survived, this like husky type dog who's just a bred domesticated dog, survived 3 months in Antarctica alone around one of these huts that we're seeing today. In a different part, we're not going exactly to the same spot, but I thought that story was so crazy that a domesticated dog survived in Antarctica. And they did say, like, because the men had to abandon everything so fast, they had all these leopard seals, which are these giant seals, just left out and dead. So Steve the dog was, you know, eating the seals. And they also mentioned that they saw a lot less penguins than there were, so I guess he caught the penguins. But I thought that was such a crazy story, and I thought I'd share with you all. I'm gonna get ready because we have a little bit of an earlier call time today for going out and exploring, but I will probably film for you when I'm out on a Zodiac or on a kayak, and yeah, so exciting. So see you then. Bye.
A little bit of flip-flopping around, get rid of some new feathers, or some old feathers. The other goodness around the corner, but it's hard to leave when you have a little spectacle like this. I know. Because the longer you watch, the more you start to see little dynamics happen. So you get like an adult running through with two chasing behind it. It's a really good time for them. Like the leopards can prowl the water and have a lot of opportunity, but the skuas know too that this time of year there's a lot of failure. There's a lot of chicks that won't make it, right? There's a lot of adults that are like, I'm out of here, I'm leaving. Uh-oh. Color is penguin skin. It's obviously translucent because you can. He doesn't wear a hat or gloves or anything. It's just like in his natural habitat. Wide ones are the jawbones. The lower jawbones and the upper mandible from the skull. The Heritage Trust. If you're like feeling inspired and you want to support the work that they're doing down here too, they sell all kinds of cool Antarctic stuff, amazing books, and like a little mini boat ramp and a very small boat on the side. Have your own boat operation. Here.
Yeah, last day.
My dad has like a huge logistical shop. Boat from a what you call a water boat or
Hey everyone, I'm back from the Zodiac cruise and I'm in my cabin room. The cruise was about an hour and a half and we just did a cruise. We didn't do any landings. We didn't go on the land at all, which is fine because a lot of times with the cruising, it's, you know, you can really get around and see a lot more. So it's good to have a mix. But today what we saw, I'm starting to see the ship move. That's cool. Okay, so today we were able to mostly see Gen 2 penguins, like I mentioned when I was reading the little snippet about where we're going. And my favorite animals that we've seen out of the seals, the whales, the penguins, and all of those species have multiple breeds within them, but my general like overarching animal that I like here are the penguins. I think they're so cute and fun and almost innocent in some ways because like the seals eat penguins, but then the penguins are just there and they're really cute and just awkward because they're flightless birds. So when they're on land, like their little wings are like back and you know they waddle. And I just think they're absolutely adorable. But one thing, actually two things that we did that I hadn't seen before that I thought was really cool was first we saw blue whale bones. We've only seen minke whales and humpback whales in the waters here, no blue whales, and those whales are like the biggest whales. There's like a map and drawings of all the different animals as we're walking to lunch, and blue whales are much bigger than all the other ones in this area, maybe even the biggest of all the whales, honestly. And we got to see blue whale bones that were washed on shore around a bunch of penguins, which was really cool to be able to see that. And then we also were able to see a base here, base A. So I talked about like expeditions earlier and how like Steve the dog was left behind in a different base and whatnot. So people know typically like scientists and researchers do spend some time in Antarctica, you know, conducting their different projects and experiments and research. And we are here today when there's like active researchers and scientists at base A, and today's their last day of the season because the season is ending for the summer and winter is coming. That's why this is the second to last voyage this company is doing in Antarctica for this season as well. March is like the tail end of summer. And so we were actually watching all the different researchers leaving and packing up their stuff. They have like the main building that they live in. They have what my Zodiac driver was saying was like a museum, and there was also another building, and we were watching them all pack up their stuff and put it on their zodiacs and leaving. And that was really cool, because when you're in Antarctica and you're on a ship, you feel like the ship is like all the people in the world, and like seeing other ships and seeing other people is like really trippy after a while. It's like, oh, there are other people here. Obviously not a lot, Antarctica, but that was really cool to see them packing, and that we happened to be here the day that they're leaving for the season. They've been here since November, and now it is early mid-March. It's March 10th, I believe. Yeah, March 10th. And there's actually another Antarctic cruise around here, Aurora Cruises. I haven't heard of them, but I'm curious to look into them. Apparently there's either this one that I'm on, Quark Expeditions, or another Antarctic cruise that, you know, has tourists and everything while they're out here. When these researchers and scientists end their like season of, you know, work down here and they're ready to go back, they don't have like a ship or something that's been here this whole time for the like 4 months or whatever that they've been here. So they just hop on to one of the tourist Antarctica cruises, and it takes them back to Ushuaia, Argentina, which I think is so fun. And I kind of wish ours was the one taking them back, because my guide was saying that like it's really nice to bring them on board, to give them like fresh food and meals and hot showers, and really just pick at their brains and learn more about them. Like, imagine having dinner with researchers in Antarctica that have been living there and are currently living there for like 4 months. That just sounds so cool. And it sounds like it's a British based organization that are, yeah, doing these experiments and research, and that's really cool. But anyway, I thought that was a fun fact, and I thought that was really cool because it's a bit different than what we have been seeing. We have about 2 hours until our next stop. Let's see, I'm gonna look at the map. It is Flanders Bay is our next stop. So up until then, we're just chilling. We'll have lunch a little bit later. Anyway, I've been talking for a while, although I just remembered one thing I wanted to share. So I went to the store on the ship earlier, and I think I showed in a previous video what I got, but it was like kind of rushed and whatnot, so I wanted to show you again. But I got 2 different t-shirts and a pin, and I've been surprised that, like, because obviously we're on a ship and there's not like new things coming all the time. I'm just assuming like all the food and all the stuff in the store and everything we need for the entire voyage is on this ship. But they've been doing stocks and like new things in the store constantly, which keeps it fun. There's even like a sale going on now because we only have 1 more full day of like Zodiac cruising and then the 2 days on the Drake Passage. So like all the base layers and stuff that people might not need anymore because we're, you know, towards the end of this voyage are on sale, of course. But I did get this shirt that I'm wearing, Antarctica, Penguin, and 7th Continent. Thought this was a fun shirt, and again, penguins are my favorite animals that we've been seeing here, and I got it oversized because I'm probably mostly going to be wearing it as a sleep shirt or like lounge shirt at home, and I like it to be oversized. And then this is the other one I got, again oversized, this white shirt. It's a bit thicker and it says Antarctica on it, and I thought it was really fun colors. And this is the shirt I saw, and when I saw it I was like, yeah, I want it. And then I decided might as well get this one too. And then I've been collecting pins, and I thought this was a really unique pin that has the actual ship Ultramarine and then Antarctica. So I already have an Antarctica pin that I got like in Argentina on the mainland, but I thought this would be a fun one as well. And yeah, so I'm gonna go to the ship store now, check out what's new, and probably go to the Panorama Lounge to kind of sightsee. Some people have been spotting some minke whales, and just make the most of being here on the ship, and then have lunch in like 2 hours, and then have another Zodiac cruise. But anyway, I've been talking for literally 10 minutes, so I will see you all later when something interesting happens. Bye! They're all over here checking out what there is. Oh, just in time. Hey everyone, I look great. So there are talks that the channel that we're going through is known to have a lot of orcas or killer whales, which aren't as common here, at least the specific parts we've been in, as the humpback whales or the minkies. And I was up in the lounge reading and heard that they were spottings of killer whales or orcas. So I was just outside for probably like 20 minutes. I did bring some stuff to stay warm in, but not like the level that I have when I'm out on the Zodiacs. So now I'm inside warming up. My legs are like numb. Like at first I was cold and then I got used to it and I was like, I don't know if that's concerning or not, but I could not spot the killer whales or orcas at the beginning, and then I was able to, and I got some footage of them for you all. So that's another type of animal that we can check mark off. And I think it's funny because I live in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, and Anacortes and like that kind of area up in the Puget Sound has killer whales. So it's funny that I'm seeing a type of animal that is from where I'm from and here, and this is such a different, you know, part of the world and climate, but I know animals, you know, migrate and everything, and these are different types of orcas in this area. But anyway, just want to update you all on that exciting spotting that we've had. Hey everyone, I'm back in my cabin post lunch, and as you saw, we had quite the time so far on the ship cruising to our next destination. Post our last Zodiac cruise, we got to see killer whales, which was really cool, and we all went up to like the front of the ship near the panorama lounge, and I tried to get some good shots, but you know, you're on a ship and you're trying to spot these creatures and camera's shaky, so I tried my best for you all, but I think I got a good couple of shots. You can definitely tell with the coloring that they're orcas. And yeah, so that was really great. And then we all rushed to lunch because lunch was ending at like 1:30, and it was like a little after 1 at that point because we were outside for a while, then we came in, and then people saw them again and we came back out. And I wasn't fully bundled up like I normally am when I'm out cruising, so I definitely did get a bit cold and mostly my legs, so I'm still trying to warm up, but that was a lot of fun. I really did enjoy seeing a new animal because we've been, you know, cruising and doing this for over a week now, so we've been seeing a lot of the same animals, which is still really cool. I still am obsessed with all the penguins that we're seeing, but it was really nice to be able to see a new type of animal, a new whale. But anyway, that is the update, and it sounds like we're switching gears and going to a different location because of the, you know, we were expecting like little to no winds like all the other days, and it has been on the windier side today. So there's not going to be like heli-trekking, which is where people can buy in addition a helicopter ride with hiking, where the helicopter stops at like the top of a mountain or something, which sounds crazy. I didn't buy that because it's quite expensive, but it sounds like that's canceled anyway because it's been windy, and we're all just going to be doing a Zodiac cruise slash landing, which I didn't think we were doing a landing today. I will keep you posted on what we see and what we do. Right now, honestly, I'm feeling a bit tired after all that excitement and like that post-lunch kind of sleepiness. So I think I'm gonna chill, and I think there's like an hour, maybe a little bit less, until our next stop. And yeah, so I will update you probably on a Zodiac. See you then. Bye.